Hello guys, I'm Kanye West. Please forgive Diego for his audio noise in his video. It is bad only the 2 first minutes of the video. Be patient, please.
Hello guys, it's me again. So as a bonus, I will finish the login and register section. For the chat application. So first, let's create a new folder and we name it register. Okay, then we create two files, register.js and login.js. Anyway, so we need a third file. So we don't in fact need it, but it's better for the organization of the code. So enter page is going to call this component or this component depending on which one is activated. So you see register, login. So this one is going to activate, it's going to call this one or this one, just like this example. So this one component, this is the other. Let's create the skeleton for each component. Let's save it. Let's import this new element. Let's comment this element out. Let's run the code. Let's create a switch state variable that will handle the change between the two components. Let's create the handler that is going to switch to change the state responsible for switching between components. Let's import the necessary components and libraries. so we don't have a style yet. So we are importing the login component, the register component. We are going to differentiate the login component from the register component. We are going to import the nav bootstrap component. The nav is this one, this element, this toggle element. This is the nav element. We're going to create a nav component. The variant. What happens when we change, when we press one of or the other, the default is going to be login. So the event key is going to be login. The default event key is login. Then when you press login, this one goes here as an event key, and this is executed. And you press register. Register goes here, and we fall into the case of register. So that's the way you set up the nav component from Bootstrap React. Now we display the login component or the register component, depending on whether or not this variable is false or true. Depending on the state of that variable. Let's see if we can see anything. So we need to save. Let's go to our application, and you see this is the login component. Now we see the register component. Now let's finish the register component. First, we're going to create two functions that can be located outside the register component. These two functions are going to validate the data that the user is going to insert in the inputs. One is going to be used to verify that only alphanumeric data is inserted. The other is going to verify that a valid email is registered, at least the format of a valid email. So first the alphanumeric function. First the function to validate the alphanumeric. Return true when we only receive alphanumeric characters, and false if we receive something else. And you do this with regular expressions, which is this, and this. So if the input text matches the regular expression that only contains alphanumeric values, then return true, otherwise return false. Now let's implement the one that is going to validate the email. So again, we use regular expressions to see whether an input has the format of an email or not. And in regular expression, this is the format of an email. It returns true. If it has the format of an email, it returns false if it doesn't. Let's create our state variables. We are going to require the name of the user, the last name, the email, and a password. He is going to register on the browser. He's not going to verify the email. This is simpler, but verifying an email is not that much complicated than this. You just send a link to the email, and then he presses the link, and the link does something on the PHP file server side that changes something on his data on the database, and that's it. But we're not going to do that now. Now we are going to create a function that checks whether the data inserted is correct, is valid or not. And this is the function, check values. So the password must be only alphanumeric, the email must have the format of an email, the name must be alphanumeric, the last name must be alphanumeric, the name length must be more than 2 characters, or at least 2 characters, and the same with the last name. So it returns true if all that is satisfied, and returns false if one of those validations fail. Let's create the function that sends the data to the database after checking the validation of the inputs. So the function's name is registered with a lowercase, not the same as the component name. Yeah, maybe this is not a good idea, but that's the way I did it. So anyway, so if the values are okay, then execute the following. We create a form data, we fill this form data, first name, last name, email, password, information. This is an extra field that doesn't matter. Then where are we going to send this information? To the host URL. Remember, we did this here, host URL. And to the PHP file register that we haven't created yet. And inside a try catch block, we call Axios and we make the request that is going to be a post request. It's going to be a JSON. that, um, the data and the URL. And if everything succeeds, then we automatically change from register to login. And if something bad happens, we send an alert. Now we need to create the HTML code. The HTML code is the following. This is just a form. Divs, inside divs with images, labels for the inputs, inputs with onChange, set name. So that input is this one. So we type, we execute onChange, and we set the corresponding state variable to the input of this field. And it's the same idea with the remaining inputs. They detect the change, and they set the state variables to be the value of the inputs. So we set the state variables to be the value of the input. The value of the inputs is this one. And also okay, so the value is going to be updated, and it's going to be the name that we have set up. Set name, and the same with the remaining inputs. We have a button, so we need to import some libraries, Axios libraries, and some bootstrap components like button, and another state variable that is coming from above. So here we give this one, and here okay, so now we are ready to execute the code. We save it, and we have an ugly code, an ugly UI. But it's working because we haven't given the CSS. Okay, now let's finish the login. Login. Let's import the libraries. The necessary state variables, email, password, and this one is for later. Never mind that. Let's implement the HTML elements. It's very similar to the register one, the same idea. We set the state variables to be the value of the inputs, and we trigger the set email function or set password function when the input data changes. And we have button, login, and on click it executes the login function. We need to finish that login function. Just like that, login function. Okay, so we have the form data. We are not checking the validation of the data. We send this request, this post request, we send it to the login.php file on our server. We haven't created that file yet. Okay, so once if we get a valid response, we set the local storage with the data that we get back from the request. So we get from the server, if the call is a successful call, so if the password and the email are correct, we get back the user ID, the username, the user last name, and the user email, and we save this to the local storage. This means we save this to the browser database in order to have access to it anywhere in the application. Then we set and also to not that is not the only reason. It's like it remembers your data. So if you close the window, if you shut down your computer and you come back to the application, it's going to remember you forever until you delete the local storage data, or unless you log out and log in with a new user. Also, we are going to set the data given back from the server. We are going to set that data as global variables, and we are going to be able to access those global variables everywhere. So we could just have done this instead of that, maybe, but I have both. For some reason I don't remember now. Maybe there was some logic behind having both ways of saving the data. One is just for the session, the other is until you delete the local storage variables. Okay, and that's it. And if we get an error, well, we get an alert with incorrect credential message. So there is something missing. Navigate is not defined. Yeah, because navigate is going to be implemented later. Navigate is going to redirect us to the main page. These are not the main pages, but if you don't have these on your local storage, you are going to be redirected to your application / login. Once you get your credentials, you get redirected to the main page. I don't have that one. So you see, well, because I am using the same state variables as a different application, this gets filled up automatically. Why is this getting filled up? Enter page. Anyway, so some magic, some crazy thing happens, and I just get this filled up with my password from another application. So now let's implement the login and register files on our server. Okay, so we need to create a new file, login.php, and then it's going to have nothing. Then register.php, neither this one, because we need to create the tables on our database. One of 400 available databases. I'm going to administer this database. I'm going to create a new table, users, and it's going to have 6 columns. Then we need to fill up the names of the columns, the types, the length, the attributes. Okay, so we have filled up the parameters of our table. We need to make the user ID to be a primary key. Auto increment, and yeah, these tables, I have this users table and the post table. They should be joined, but you can do that yourself. this is going to be hashed. That's why it's so long. And I think we are ready. We can see the preview. We can save. We have saved. Now we are ready to finish our PHP files. So we go to login, and we instantly get our code. So I'm going to explain to you the code. This is to access from someplace else. The server name, username, password of the database. Database name. You already have that, so you can hack me. But please do not hack me. But anyways, I do not care. The connection to the MySQL database. We give the parameters. We connect. We get the email from the post request made from the client. We get the password from the post request made from the client. And I have no idea what is that. Just to initialize an input, a variable in PHP. We hash the password in order to hide it. So if somebody has access to our database, like you, then you won't be able to see the passwords of the users because it's going to be encrypted. Because we prioritize security in our app. So if it's not empty, if both inputs are not empty, then go on. We get the query, select all elements from users that have the email given by the user. Then we query the database. Executing that query, we get the results, and if they are not empty, we proceed. If they are empty, we return an error, 400, and some data to debug. Okay. So now we fetch the data as an array. We extract it. Array element named password. We saved it. Then we verify that they are the same. So if the password given by the user is the same as the one saved in the database before, if they are the same, return the user ID, the first name, the last name. Otherwise, return error, bad password. And that's it. We save. Wait a minute. Now we edit the register. This is going to save the data into the database. So this very the same idea. We have the credentials that I shouldn't be showing this to you, but anyway, so we connect to the database. We get the information from the post request made from the client. So it's very similar here. Get the data from the client. We hash the password coming from the client. Remember, this is the register. So if the email and the password is not empty, I could have done this for all the inputs, but anyway, you can fix that. Insert into users table the data given by the user from the client side. You return a response 200 and return a message that is not necessary. If anything wrong happens, return a response code 400 and some debug information. Save, close, and yeah, we are in the localhost. Let's see if it works. PP, and it worked. Let's go to our database. You see, user ID, the upload, the email, the hashed password, and some extra column that doesn't matter. Now let's try to log in. What? PP. Why I'm not logging in? Okay, let's see what is returning, whether it's this one, or this one. So let's go here, console, response, data, 1, bad password. Why bad password? Okay, so let's debug this data db result. Let's see if we are getting the inputs, email and password. You see technology .net pp. It looks fine. Maybe the credentials are wrong. Host name. No, everything looks fine. Database name. Hi guys, so somehow the problem was that I gave a wrong password and I forgot the password. So I put some wrong inputs. This is gmail.com. Is you see, now I'm logging local storage. User ID 3, user last name SS, username SS. Somehow this record I didn't type pp or something happened, so but these two worked. Now we need to redirect you to the chat. So we are going to implement the router. Router. Okay. So this is the way you install that. Okay, so you installed React Router. Now you import React Router. Now you get the return from that function for some reason. And now you can navigate. But we need to reroute you because our main page is the enter page. Our main page should be our chat. So let's do that. So let's go to the form page, which should be like our main page, and let's create a function that will check if there is a user logged in, and if there is none, then it is going to redirect us to the login page. So this function, what it does, it checks whether there is a variable stored in the local storage, and this variable has as a name user ID. Then if there is a user ID, and we do nothing else, we go to login. Let's see what happens. So this is just to test because we don't have a direction / login. We haven't created it yet. Yeah, so everything is wrong. Everything is wrong. We need to get the URLs, like the locations for each of the elements. We haven't done that, so we cannot use navigate yet. So what we need to do is to import the necessary objects from React Router DOM to attach like an URL to each component. So you see, we replace the code for this code, and this, what it does, it says that when you type this in the URL, you're going to get this element. If you type this, you're going to get this, and also you are going to be able to redirect to this, because it's kind of, from what I have experienced, it's kind of a virtual URL. It's not like it's not completely normal. It's just to organize. Well, never mind. Think about it as like normal URLs. So now it should work. Wait a minute. I think this is wrong. Just wait a second. Okay, so what happened is that I needed to call the router objects one level above, not yet in app.js, but in index.js too. So here I have to import this element, this object, and then I need to do this. That's why it was complaining before. So now it shouldn't complain. Let's see. So what happens is that these variables are not being initialized. So these variables come from, they do not come from here. They come from the local storage or from the window. No, from the local storage. Okay, so let's do this. If user ID then okay, so yeah, we are going to get the data from the local storage. So let's name these and after checking whether we are logged in, we initialize our state variables from the local storage. Okay. User ID. So yeah, we are not going to get anything from above. Maybe the page ID. Okay. So what happened if we delete the local storage? We get redirected here. So my name is so my username is SS. Okay, let's log in. Let's see if I post as SS. SS. Okay, so let's log out. Let's register as TT. TT TT I am TT now. TT. Okay, what now? Let's do a logout function. Let's do a header component. That is going to be always visible. Okay, so this is our header component. This bootstrap, a link, an element from React router DOM. We get the username from the local storage, the last name from the local storage, we get a header, HTML header, a nav bar, okay, with links that they're going to redirect us to home or login. And it's going to tell us who is signed in. Okay, let's call that. And it's going to be at the top. Well, it needs a little CSS, but you see, signed in as TTTT logout. When we log out, we go here. Signed in as AAA. Yeah, this needs to show us the last, always the last, or maybe order these from newer to older. Okay, as TT, oh wait, as AA, I wrote that. As SS, I wrote this. As SS. I'm logged in here as AA, and here as SS. So let's create let's put the header above everything. Now it's prettier, right? So now let's finish a detail that when we are in the login section, we want to delete this data, because if you log out and you don't delete this data, then the next time you're going to log in automatically. So we want to avoid that. I'm sorry, we're not going to delete the local storage data here in the login component. We need to delete it here because we arrived to this one, not the login. This one contains the login component. So here's where we are going to delete. So we log out, we refresh, we are still log out. We log in, we refresh, we still log in. We log out, we try to go, we can't. Well, it should be faster, or maybe there is a method. There is a place in which you can redirect and don't see anything. Just is too slow. Maybe if we put the redirection here at the app level, we're not going to see the form component. So let's do that. Okay, so let's see if still doesn't work as expected. Wait, I know what we can do. We are going to forget about this, forget about this. This one too. there is another way. Okay, so we are going to create an additional layer above form but below app.js, and here we are going to arrive here, and this one is going to select whether we go to login or whether we continue to form. Okay guys, so I'm going to finish this component, and we get header, React components, the navigate, form, and this is how it works. This is going to return either a form or we're going to get redirected to the login page, but this is the fancy way of doing that. So you're not going to see anything from the form is not going to be initialized. So here we get either this component or this one, and we give back that. So now we need to import that. And home is going to be this one here. Okay. Let's see. You see, we don't see the form anymore. Login, and we have twice the header. We log out. We try to go again. We can. We log in. We see twice the header. Where are we seeing two headers? Because there is one in form and one in home. So we need to get rid of the one in home. Header. Now I'm going to add some CSS to make this prettier, and we are finished. Okay, so I added these two CSS files, enter page and style. I'm going to call them from here. I'm going to call them from here. From here. Wait a minute. But I need to install that super special SAS. So we need to install SAS. This is our fancy pansy. Let me see if I can. Let me fix this to put the last message at the top. Do I want to do that? Or maybe always scroll down? Okay, so there is a way to scroll always to the bottom. We're going to give this an ID. And we are going to see if this works. Let's see if this works. Luke Skywalker. It's working, but not as often as I would like. Something is not working. I can create a use effect with posts as a trigger. You see? Success. Now it's better. Now you can talk with your friends and your girlfriends. So here we are AA. Okay, so this is it. Wait a minute. For some reason, each time we call the server, this is executed. So we need to keep track of the length of the posts, and if the length is the same as before, then we do nothing. Okay, so we need a state variable that will save the length of the posts. And we are going to keep comparing. That's the initial post length. Okay. If posts length equal post length not equal, they're not equal, a new message arrived. Well, this is like not the best solution, because if there is a lot of people talking to you, you won't be able to go to the top anyways. So maybe the best solution is just to detect the mouse. If the mouse or the touchpad, and give you some time to scroll up or down. But this will work for now. You see? Okay, so if you want to really do this, you need to say if there is an activity on the mouse, then wait some time without scrolling down, and if a time has passed, then scroll down. This will give you time to scroll up and see all their messages. But that's it for the application. Let's upload this and finish once and for all. So let's build the solution. Let's upload the solution. Wait, we need to put some images here. Okay, so I selected two super fancy pictures just for the sake of it. Let's now upload this. Okay, so it's working. For some reason it doesn't. Let's see, it's working. Lol. It was cheap. For some reason it doesn't work. Here a D. A. Okay, so this is the chat application. From 0 to hero. Goodbye.
It is Kanye West again, guys. Thank you for watching this tutorial. Please give it a like if you got anything valuable from it.